Hi, my name is Jonas Bayana. I'm a principal engineer in the Selling Partner Services organization. I have been in Amazon for 10 years. Today, I will talk about the automated negotiation system my team builds. I will discuss first the negotiation problem in general, followed by our high level architecture. Then I will talk about one of the components of negotiation, offer and counter offer generation, and the challenging problems we are tackling in that space. Now, let's build some context. Amazon has millions of selling partners. For those who choose to sell to Amazon instead of customers on the Amazon marketplace, we negotiate the terms of sales. We call these selling partners vendors. Amazon has more than hundreds of thousands of vendors that supply products. Negotiation may include hundreds of terms as well, from product cost to more complex terms like how to deal with damages and return items and where and how products are delivered, payment terms, hundreds of terms. Figuring out the best agreement that both parties can find acceptable is complex, even for a single product we are selling. Now imagine negotiating efficiently to procure hundreds of millions of products from hundreds of thousands of vendors. Now, my team owns systems that help both vendors and internal negotiators to complete this important business operation effectively. Before I go to describing how we approach to solving this problem, let's talk about negotiation in general. The goal of negotiation is reaching an agreement that is acceptable for both parties. The first thing that comes to your mind may be the human element, being tough or friendly to improve the negotiation outcome. While it's true both parties try to maximize their gains, it is important to build long-term strategic relationship that benefits the end customers. So in reality, negotiation requires preparation and lots of data. For example, you need to set goals. You have to understand the goals of the other party. You have to identify opportunities for negotiation, such as products where profitability can be improved. And this requires operational and financial data from several Amazon teams that we have to integrate with. Negotiation often involves creating value for mutual gain, not just sharing what exists. What do we mean by mutual gain? Let's say we're selling coffee mugs for $10 and we're buying them from our supplier for $8. That means we make $2 profit per mug, not counting other costs like shipping, storage, marketing, and infrastructure. Now, let's say we want to lower our cost to $7 per mug. This could be because we are planning to reduce prices for customers or because we want to improve our margin to match our profit target. The simplest option is to ask the vendor to reduce their cost to $7, which would give us an extra $1 profit per mug. However, this is not a win-win scenario. But what if we found out through data or through the negotiation process that suppliers typically spend $3 per mug to ship the item to Amazon? If Amazon agrees to buy in bulk and have them ship product to a single fulfillment center, they can reduce their freight cost down to just $1. By doing that, we would be creating a new value. So what you can expect from a negotiation system is that it would identify opportunities like the one I talked about, simulating the financial impact of bulk buying, and find out if it would be beneficial for both parties. So the system we're building has a dual purpose. We support human negotiators here at Amazon, and we also automate negotiations in some contexts. To support human negotiators, the system can automatically identify negotiation opportunities and alert human negotiators. This can range from simple things like missing profitability targets to more involved systems like identifying the best supply chain option for a vendor. The system can also help in setting goals by benchmarking across similar products. Another example is generating the optimal proposal to send to a vendor. Now, the system can also capture historical data, both for reporting and training purposes. In selected scenarios, the system can fully automate the backend for negotiation, from identifying opportunities and creating an initial ask to evaluating counteroffers and approving agreements and creating the required contracts. Let's go over the key components of the high-level system we have. Negotiations can be started by Amazon or by the vendor. Let's see what happens when it's started by a vendor. A vendor can make a request either to sell a new item or change an existing term like product cost. Requests can come through API or through the UI. and are received by one of these ingestion systems. The negotiation management system receives these requests and orchestrates the workflow required to make a decision. The first thing we do is evaluate the long-term financial impact of the proposal. As you can imagine, evaluation is a complex system that requires forecasting and understanding macro trends. Based on the evaluation result, we can decide to accept the proposal or provide a counteroffer. It's also possible that we will sideline this for a human negotiator to take a look in some cases. Now, if we decide to provide a counteroffer, the offer generation system will use data such as the given offer, operational financial performance I talked about earlier, science models to come up with a counteroffer. Now, the back and forth can continue until we reach an agreement or the negotiation is abandoned. We will store the contract. Downstream systems like purchasing can use the contract to take actions. After that, we constantly monitor various signals like the customer shipments, financial data, operational data like fulfillment to identify new opportunities for negotiation that Amazon will initiate. Now, the opportunities we generate are used in two ways. We use them to generate offers for negotiation. We will also evaluate all opportunities holistically to set goals and start new negotiation and plan yearly. Now, each of these boxes I have shown you here, they encompass multiple services. In total, we are talking about hundreds of services to accomplish this task. Now that we looked at the high-level systems, let's dive into the challenge of one specific area, the automated offer generation problem. The goal of the automated offer generation system is to come up with the best negotiation proposal we can offer to a vendor. That also maximizes our long-term profitability. It's used both for Amazon-initiated negotiation as well as to generate counteroffers. When the system generates these proposals, it's trying to maximize the probability of acceptance as well as the long-term financial goals. Hence, it shouldn't make egregious asks that will damage trust or negatively impact selection or profitability. The asks it generates also have to be explainable. One way of doing that is like by including clear justification. For example, computing the forward-looking vendor benefit of our proposal from their point of view helps. The system is also expected to use various levers and incentives we have available that will make sense for the given scenario. We have to do all this while meeting the scaling demand in the size of the negotiation and the number of terms that we have. As you can guess, the offer generation problem I described above includes several machine learning problems we are working on. Some of this includes coming up with a reasonable cost for all products Amazon is selling. So we use product attributes, similar products, past sales history to train a model that will give us a range on what is a typical or fair cost for a product. But having a fair cost range is not sufficient by itself. We have to estimate the probability of acceptance. We build a probability of acceptance model based on past negotiation history, product and vendor attributes, and other data points. A related topic is like financial simulation. We have to evaluate the long-term impact of whatever proposal we generate or we arrive with. Simulation requires models for forecasting demand, as well as our cost structure. In addition to the above, we deal with cross-term optimization, and there are multiple ways of achieving the same objectives. On the engineering side, we have to scale the system both to the business size, as well as make it extensible to new use cases. For example, we have to deal with how do we capture high-quality training data to drive our ML systems? How do we model negotiation so that it can easily support new terms as we are adding a new negotiation term every now and then? If you are interested in helping us solve the challenges I discussed in this video, please check out our career page shown here. Thank you.